You know, I actually found the BFG book a couple weeks ago. Started reading it. Read about this much. It took me a couple weeks to read that. I don't read it. Unless it's Harry Potter, I don't really read that much. So the BFG, which stands for Big Friendly Giant, or as I like to call him, the Big Freaking Giant. This is a new movie by Steven Spielberg. It's based off a Roald Dahl book, and it's being made by Disney. So you got Disney, Roald Dahl, and Steven Spielberg. How is this not going to be just the most magical movie ever? And the movie centers around this little girl named Sophie. She's an orphan. She lives at an orphanage. One day, she looks out her window in the middle of the night. She sees a giant. The giant kidnaps her, takes her to giant country because giants can't be seen. And they start bonding and forming this friendship, and they go through a couple of adventures. And I was really looking forward to the BFG, mainly just because Spielberg, Disney, Roald Dahl, and the guy playing the BFG, Mark Rylance. Should he have beaten Stallone for that Oscar last year? I don't know about that, but the guy is a great actor, and I was looking forward to seeing him as the Big Friendly Giant. I was hoping for this movie to be like the next E.T., and while I can say it's not quite that great, it's one of those movies that kids now can watch, and then when they look back on it later, it'll be like one of their favorite childhood movies. Starting out with what I like, the majority of this movie is just Sophie and the BFG, and the girl playing Sophie, I thought did a great job. Steven Spielberg has a knack for getting really good child actors. I mean, there's Christian Bale, the kids from Jurassic Park, got a little annoying at times, but for the most part, they're great. The kids from E.T., River Phoenix, and The Last Crusade, you know, Steven Spielberg is really good at casting child actors and then pulling the best performances out of them. And this is one of his best child actors in a long time. What I like about the start of this movie is a lot of it is from Sophie's perspective. Maybe not completely like first person point of view, but like when the BFG captures her and scoops her up in her little blanket, they're running through the countryside, and the camera is right next to Sophie. So you're seeing her reaction, you're seeing how high she is up in the air, and you feel like you're on the ride with her in the adventure. That was great. And that's something that Steven Spielberg does really well, is capturing that just awe-inspiring movie magic, as some people call it. And I got that through the majority of this movie. And dude, I cannot stress this enough. Mark Rylance as the BFG was incredible. I was a little concerned about the CGI in this movie. I didn't want it, you know, it's like giants and weird, the Snozzcumber plants and stuff, so I didn't want it to just be overrated with CGI. And the movie's not Temple of Doom, you know, it doesn't look gritty and realistic. It does kind of have a polished feel to it, but it almost makes it feel like a storybook. And Mark Rylance's BFG fits perfectly with the visuals of this movie. And performance-wise, you know, he's really friendly, he's nice to Sophie. He's the runt of his litter, though, so there's a bunch of other giants that are kind of bossing him around. And he's got this little speech impediment, so he's like the underdog. You're rooting for him. And not trying to get into spoilers, but there's a scene near the end of this movie where they're encountering humans a little bit, and you can tell that he has human emotions, where like the humans are kind of afraid of him, he's kind of afraid of the humans. And I just really liked that emotional touch that this movie had. As far as issues I had with this movie, it's hard for me to really knock it because it's based off of a book, but it does drag a little bit in the second half, and the ending kind of feels like a really wrapped up, neat bow, and a very quickly wrapped bow at that. I haven't finished the book, but I'm assuming that the book has the same ending, so it's hard to really knock the movie for that. It's kind of like Mockingjay Part 2. Like, yeah, I knew that the ending for Mockingjay 2 I wasn't gonna love 100%, but it's not quite as much of a fault as Francis Lawrence as it is of Suzanne Collins and the source material that they were given to adapt to the big screen. And you can change some minor things, but if you're changing huge plot points, then you're gonna upset some fans. So I get, if this is the ending that was in the book, then I get why they put it in the movie. It just felt like kind of a rushed ending and a little bit of an easy way out. That being said, this movie did remind me of some of Steven Spielberg's more fun blockbuster type movies like E.T. and Jurassic Park, Hook. It doesn't reach the heights of any of those movies, but I just think it's so awesome that it's 2016 and we still get to see a Steven Spielberg movie with a John Williams score, a Steven Spielberg blockbuster movie. Oh, okay, maybe not actual blockbuster because this thing tanked at the box office, but you know, like fun summer popcorn entertainment movie. I walked out of the BFG feeling like a kid again, having a great time, and I feel like a lot more people should check this movie out. But if you saw the BFG, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of Mark Rylance, maybe some of Steven Spielberg's other movies. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you guys can click subscribe and see some of my other stuff, and I'll catch you guys next time.